Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Catherine, and today I'm going to be talking about the importance of community and different ways of cultivating community. I'm not an expert by any means, nor am I an authority on the matter, but these are just some thoughts I have based on the things that I'm learning, and I'd like to share them. So just a basic definition, the dictionary defines community as 1, a group of people living in the same space or having a particular characteristic in common, or 2, a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. As a human being, I believe that I am naturally a communal creature, and even though I am introverted and like to spend a lot of time by myself, I still think it's important for me to connect with other fellow humans. And the first reason I have today is to educate. There were plenty of contexts in which I was part of, I could say, an academic community. I went to school, I've taken various classes, and I've learned a lot of things simply by being in an academic community. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in person either. I've learned a lot of things by watching YouTube videos on the internet, or by having roommates who taught me things about cooking, or fashion, or just social dynamics. I also grew up with siblings, and I believe that played a role in my social education as far as learning how to interact with other people. And in having experienced all those elements, I think I learned a lot in ways that I wouldn't have been able to learn had I just been by myself all the time. The second reason why I believe community has been important for me is for the purpose of encouragement. There have been plenty of days when I've gotten discouraged, or had a bad day, or just felt worn out from life. And there have been countless people throughout my life who have said an encouraging word to me and helped keep me going. Or on a more introverted level, there have been times when I've watched a YouTube video or read a book or listened to a podcast where someone said something that I found uplifting. If I had nobody but myself all the time, I think it would be much harder for me to keep myself going on days when I just feel worn out. And so even though I am very introverted and don't like to interact with a whole lot of people, I find that having a few select people or resources that I can tap into can really help me when I'm feeling discouraged. And the third reason why I believe community has been important for me is to help keep me on the right path. I like to surround myself with people and resources that help me to grow into a better person. And there have also been times when I've gotten stuck inside my own head and have kind of spiraled downward into a not so healthy mindset or path. This is kind of related to the idea of encouragement, but I think goes a level deeper in that I may be able to get advice or feedback from people if that's something I'm looking for. And having people or resources to check in with who can honestly tell me, this sounds like a healthy thing or this doesn't sound like a healthy thing, can be really helpful, provided that they are people that I have feelings of trust and safety with, and not just a random person who is giving me their opinion. Although I can still learn from that too. So now that I've talked about reasons why I think community has been helpful for me, I'm going to transition and talk about different types of community as well as ways that I've cultivated them. Now, the idea of cultivating community has been something that I've struggled with for a really long time, because going back to the idea that I'm introverted, it takes me a long time to build connection with people, and so building community has really been a challenge. And I'm not going to say that I have it all together right now, because I don't, but I'm learning and I'm a work in progress. Something that is interesting to me is thinking about the idea that there are different types of community. So there's a personal community, there's business community, emotional, financial. There are many different dimensions of wellness and different ways to build community out of those dimensions. So for example, I am hopefully getting ready to start a business soon, and I recognize the need to have a business community or business mentors. And so what that looks like for me is having a business coach, an insurance agent, someone that I can consult with for branding, a CPA, all of those different people who have a variety of expertise who can help me get started in my business. And I got connected to those different specialists in different ways. The CPA was referred to me by someone from my school who's also using the same CPA. The business coach I actually found through a business coaching resource group, and I was introduced to that group by actually interviewing someone who has been in the industry I'm wanting to pursue longer than I have, and she recommended checking out this group in my city and getting connected to them, and they were able to set me up with a business coach. So that was pretty cool. So even though I may not be the best networker, I recognized the value in networking and was able to get connected to different professionals that I needed through networking. My more personal, emotional community is kind of small right now, and it fluctuates depending on what season of life I'm in. Right now, I do have roommates, and I find a lot of emotional support from them because we've been living together for a while, and so we've established rapport, and when you live with someone, you get to know them pretty well pretty quickly. There's also a spiritual community where I've attempted to connect with a local church because that's something that I value, and I find community through connecting with people at school, teachers, students, getting together with students to work on homework. there was a sense of community there as well. So essentially, to sum that up, when I think of how to cultivate community, I think of, well, there are different dimensions of wellness. So what is the specific community I'm looking for? And then how can I network or find out about different resources that I can tap into to both meet my needs and hopefully maybe help meet the needs of other people as well. So those are my thoughts regarding community. I would love to hear any feedback you have in the comments below about how you cultivate community. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.